Bob, okay? We're going to talk about Bob again, but we got to talk about Bob right now. Because remember at the end of the episode when I said he's probably going to get up first before Mary because he's already been shot 3 times. Hopefully he's built up a resistance to it, right? Was I right or was I right? I was right because he did get up before Mary, okay? She did not stand a chance, unfortunately. And what did he do when he got up? He went to work. Now, poor Mary, okay? You know, do I feel bad for her? Yeah, because she wasn't ready for that, okay? She was not ready for that. I'm sure she was still laying down on the floor convulsing next to saltwater fish and freshwater water, okay? She wasn't ready for that. Did she deserve it? Once again, I don't know. You shock a man 3 times, there's really no telling what he's going to do to you, okay? You really are just out of control at that point in time. You got to let the chips fall where they may. And the chips fell, they did, okay? Fall, they did. That Corbell and a tizzy, he said, what we going to do? I said, I don't know. Don't know what you're going to do. We're going to come back to that. Okay, let's get into the episode. Start off in the present. We see Burton and Flynn's mom. Her name is Ella. Okay, just remember that. Her name is Ella. She's washing dishes. She's happy, doing her thing, looking at plates. You know, she hadn't been able to do that in a while. All of a sudden, you can just tell. Boom, lights out. She can't see nothing. So she walks outside. One of the boys, Reese, is outside. She's like, hey, can you take me to the hospital? I got to go see Dee Dee. He's like, yeah, truck's right here. She's like, I'm going to need you to help walk me down these steps, son. Can't see no more. He was just like, okay, maybe I should call Burton and Flynn. She said, don't do that. We don't want to worry him. And it's like, we don't want to worry him. You know you got future medicine flowing through your veins. They need to be worried right now. They need to be worried immediately, okay? And we know why. We know why they need to be worried. Should have called them. As they drive away, we see who? Bob. Because what did he do? The doggone thing. And what else did he do? Steal one of their cars, okay? He stole one of the Pickett's cars, so he's watching them. So he watches them back out, and we just assume he's following, okay? Up to the future, which is where we left off at the end of the last episode, we see Ainsley shaking their hands. She says to Flynn, do you have a plan, or you just plan on parrying all the other blows that people, you know, swing at you? And Flynn was like, I don't have a plan. She didn't say it like that, but it was like she didn't have a plan. She's gonna come in there and shake stuff up. So she says, look, I want to talk to y'all 3, Burton, Connor, Flynn. Let's bounce, okay? She insults Lev's house on the way out. As they're about to leave, though, Flynn's like, I would feel a lot more comfortable if Wolf came. She called him Wolf. I'm going to call him Wolf because his name is Wolfgang, okay? And Wolf looking shifty-eyed once again. Who, me? Who, me? Yes, you. Quit playing, fool. God, dog. So we go back to the prison and we see Ella and Reese walking into Dee Dee's office so she can get checked out. Reese is like, can I step out? They're like, yeah. Okay. And as he's stepping out, Dee Dee's like, tell Liz, which I'm assuming is the front desk lady, that she can go on her lunch break. And well, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. So he goes out there. He's like, yeah, cool, fine. And then Dee Dee asks Ella, are you okay? And she was like, And it's like, really? No. Everybody needs to be clued in at this point. She got future medicine running through her veins. Tommy's over here just not getting clued in. Clue that family in now, please. Because then Tommy silly stuff goes back to the station. Why? I think he just really needed more and more proof. It was that whole thing that Dee Dee said in the last episode. Why are you confused being the frog when you help the scorpion go across the river and he stings you in the back? Why are you so confused? You know what's going on, okay? You know exactly what's going on. He goes to the office and he's like, I'm just trying to make sure all the weaponry that was in the car with me got tagged and bagged, right? And it got bagged and tagged, but it didn't make it into the office because the woman at the front desk, whomever she was talking very crazy to him, acting like he didn't get hit. Now look, was it his fault because he kept talking about an invisible car? Yes, sir, leave that part out. Nobody needs to know that the car was invisible and that you couldn't see it, okay? No, nobody needs to know that. She was like, what weapon were you looking for? He's like, oh, there was a Glock and a Doodad. And she was like, oh, a Doodad. Is that like a thingamabob? You think you're funny, but you're not, okay? As we find out, there is no evidence. They were bagged and tagged, but they never made it into the evidence room. And obviously, he's upset. So then we go back to the future. We see Ainsley and the 3 and Ainsley's like sidekick helper, Beatrice, going to the Met Training Police facility. She lets them know it's free from the CLEP surveillance, it's free from RI surveillance, it's just for us, okay? We can talk freely out here. Beatrice takes Connor and Burton up to this building because they're like, look, Flynn's been in this body. She knows how to move it. Y'all have not really been in it before, so let's get y'all up to speed. So you see this building literally building itself in front of their eyes, and they're like, it's almost like what Flynn thought she was doing at first, but this is a real sim. This is a real game where they're going in there and they're trying to get up to speed with their bodies. Beatrice, she takes them inside. She says, strap up, because it's about to be a wild ride. These coins get built literally right in front of their eyes like it's a bunch of nanobots. So they take them out. As they're fighting, Beatrice is watching them. Assuming at this time that she only has like augmented eyes, right? So she's watching them fight and parry and block and just seeing how they work together and work separately. Then she lets them know this is the first level. It's 8 levels, 6 on the first level, 12, 18, 24, till we all get all the way up to the 8th level. And then like, what happens on the roof? And then she's like, surprise. She snatches the mask off, one of the coins, pulls it down, and you're like, oh, she about to go to work. She about to go to work. So we're going back to the present, and we see Tommy again, because obviously he's still a little peeved, okay, about the whole situation with Gladys, talking to him like he's stupid in the head, okay? So he goes like this, either it's the impound lot, junkyard, probably both of them mixed together, okay? He goes there, and he looks in the front seat, and he sees, hey, the weapons that I bagged and tagged are here. They didn't ever get cataloged, and it's like, no, sir, they didn't, but you already knew that. So obviously he looks at the real weapon, the real gun, and he's like, weapon. Then he looks at the pulse weapon and he tries it out. Obviously, we already know how it works, right? Blew out all the windows. And he was like, started to get the gears turning. And his cell phone rings. Who is it? The sheriff. The one that hit him with the invisible car. Obviously, I would have done what Dee Dee said a long time ago, which is just, we can run. We don't have to stay here. We don't have to do all of this. You go on your vacay, the leave that they're put you on, and run. So sheriff calls him. He's like, I need you to get over here to the pigs now. Something's happened. He said, I thought I was on leave. He said, you were, but you're not anymore. Get your butt over here. So then we switch people, right? So we see Bob sitting outside the urgent care, sitting in his truck. What does he do? He decides to cut his arm. It looked serious. Okay, it was deep. I said, why would you do that, sir? Anyway, he goes inside of the building, right? Holding his arm. Reese is like next to like the little candy machine. He's like, oh, I need help, immediately. Wop, 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 wop. I said, oh no, not Reese, no. Whole time screaming, not Reese. He didn't deserve this. Whole time I'm like, connect to the haptics, please. And there, freaking Dee Dee and Ella are in the room, and they're like, oh, what's going on out there? Oh, obviously Ella, she can't see. You know, she can't do anything. But Dee Dee, come on. Hearing this man fighting for his life, trying to save y'all. I mean, and Bob was moving fast for an old man. I cannot lie. He was, I said, okay, give this boy a break. Okay, please. You're moving too fast. You hit him before he even knew what was going on. And Ella and Dee Dee didn't come out until Reese got taken out, which I was very upset about, okay? Because you heard this man struggling. Whole time he was getting choked out. You could have came out there and kicked Bob, okay? You could have came out there and hit him with a chair. But what did you do? Slowly come out. Is everything okay? No, it's not. Ella's like, oh no, where's Reese? Okay. Freaking Dee Dee said, oh, he just stepped out for a bit. Now, I know she blind, but I think she can hear. She heard the kerfuffle the whole time. She knew exactly what happened. There was no doubt in my mind that she knew Reese was right there. So Bob told him, take a seat. All right. So he reaches over, gets Reese's phone, puts it up to his face, which I'm pretty sure your eyes have to be open, but maybe not, okay, for you to unlock your phone, because he unlocks his phone. As they're sitting down, Ella says, is this the man from the bridge? Bob said, shut the heck up talking. I said, oh, golly. You don't have to talk to her like that. She can't even see. Go back to the future where we see Ash and Ossian talking to each other, and they're talking about Ainsley in their encrypted language. As they're talking, Lev calls Ash, and he's like, yo, I need you to spy using one of those peripherals on all of them. And Ash said, no, I'm not doing that. She would know as soon as we did it, and we'd be done for it. Click, click, hung up on the man. Ossian said, did you just hang up on him? She said, mm-hmm. Did he ask what I think you asked him to do? Mm-hmm. She said, I'm not doing that. And I said, right, you smart. But it's kind of dumb also because you live in his house. That's why you shouldn't live with people. You shouldn't live with people that's got more control over you. Ossian, he said, you know what I don't have? I don't got that dog in me. Okay, I don't have anything to prove. Let's go. Ash said no, but I was right there with Ossian. It's getting real hot around here. There's too much going on. We can leave right now. We don't have to do this. But Ash said no, so he gonna listen to his girl because she was right. She said, if we run out all of this doggone crap was for nothing. We did all of this for absolutely nothing. So no, we're not going anywhere. Then she says to him, you steady? He said, yeah, I'm steady. I said, he ain't steady. That man, he's a flight risk if I ever saw one. He will leave you behind, girl or not. We're still in the future, but we switched to Flynn. Goldberry is basically just giving her all the information on the differences between the stubs. So she says to her, hey, your boy Connor, he didn't actually lose his limbs in the Texas war, I believe it was called. He came back, all his limbs intact. That means that the stub was created a decade before, like I said, like we all knew, but also like I said, it was created a decade before than we all knew, right? That the most concerning thing, though, is that the jackpot seems to be accelerating in their world. And she assumes that the Research Institute is behind all of that. Wolf sitting there just looking like a lost puppy, okay? Looking like a lost dog. Said, well, to what end? And Ainsley said, well, only Sharice would know that. Then Ainsley starts telling more information. Yes, the War of Texas did happen. No, Connor did not lose his limbs because the RI hadn't created that new stub. They fought as regular soldiers, no half-dicks. So Connor kept all his limbs, but Burton did not make it home. Flynn got married. You already know who she got married to. Tommy. They had 2 kids. Life was great for them, obviously, until the jackpot happened. Wolf, though. Wolf was looking very sad about his girlfriend / not girlfriend have gotten married in the past. She's not even in your future, sir. Calm down. Goldberry tells Flynn she want to ask you some questions. We see Beatrice, Connor, Burton still fighting the Coys inside of the game. We go to the present, okay? And honestly, this little small clip, because it was about that long, was really just to show us what kind of a person Bob was. Because we see Dee Dee sitting in the chair. What do we see Dee Dee doing? She's eyeing the weapon that Bob used to take out Reese. Okay? She's looking at it. And Bob was basically like, do it if you bad. But you're not as bad as you think you are. As fast as you think you are, I'm faster. I have the upper hand. Sit your butt down. He throws the weapon next to her. What'd she do? Nothing. She said, actually, I don't got the dog in me. I'm not about that life. I can't move fast. We would be done for. He would get rid of me and still keep Ella. And I'd just be laying there for no reason. We go back to the future and we see Burton, Connor, and Beatrice. They come out on top of the roof. He tells them, but guess what? This whole module game isn't complete until there's only one of us left standing on the roof. So we switch back to Lowberry and she's asking Flynn some questions. She's like, answer them as fast as you can, no thinking. So she asks her greatest fear, greatest strength, greatest weakness. If she could turn back time, would she? To which she said no. And if Lowberry could sever the connection between their 2 worlds, would she want to? She hesitates and then says no. Lowberry asks her why does she hesitate? She's like, I don't know. Flynn says, let me ask you some doggone questions. I don't know who you think you are. You asking all questions. Let me get some questions answered, okay? She asked Lowberry, what's your biggest fear? Lowberry says the past. She said, our past? She said, yes. Obviously, she wasted a freaking question trying to get clarity. It could have just been the past general. But she only had one question left. So her third question, she says, are you able to actually sever the connection between our 2 worlds? What does Lowberry do? She said, I think I overpromised on what I could give you. Since Beatrice, Connor, and Burton are almost done, I'm going to have to go. So she didn't answer no questions. Do you think she has the power to sever the connection? I would assume that really it would just be about shutting down RI. What do you think? I mean, because obviously it's not like they can undo all those timelines. You can't unring that bell, all right? It's the bells are ringing, okay? The sounds are going out across the land. It's a wrap. We go back to Beatrice, Connor, Burton. Beatrice puts the pause, okay, on Burton. Went to work. Then she starts fighting Connor, okay? Once again, pause. He stands up and he's like, Shorty, you amazing. And she's like, Boom! Sparta kicks that man off the roof. I said, whole time down though, he's laughing. He's ecstatic. He wakes up in the present and then we switch to the present. And he wakes up and he's like, I'm gonna marry that girl. We don't even know if she's a real person, okay? We assume that she's a real person with some eyes, but we don't know what she is at this point in time. And they get a text from Reese's phone saying, hey, had to take your mom to the hospital. You gotta come quick. Obviously, at this point in time, Reese is no longer with us, so we know it's Bob, okay? So Burton's like, oh man, give me a few seconds. Flynn's like, man up and get up. Stop acting like a punk. And it's like, God dog, this is his first time being inside of this doggone thing. Give him a second. But he didn't get no seconds. Tommy goes to the Picker residence, sees that Mary is no longer with us. Okay, sees some tracks. He goes outside. He got that thing on him. He got it pulled out though, because he don't know what he's expecting. So he sees Pickett and the sheriff talking to each other. So the sheriff comes over to him and he's like, first and foremost, put that away. Second of all, you know the guy that you were supposed to take to the station that you lost? that, wink, wink, I took from you, okay? Well, seems like he made his way all the way over here, which is like, why? Makes no sense, right? But seems like he made his way all the way over here, took out Pickett, took a car. Now we have no clue where he is. And it's like, well, if you were doing your job as the sheriff of that town, you would have an exact location on him right now. So he says to him, bring Burton and Flynn into custody. Tommy's like, the heck did that have to do with anything? Oh, the sheriff spins some crazy wild story, right? About what they would have to do with it. Okay, they got into the drug game. It's like, how's that sound? Tommy says, it sounds like you just made it up. He was like, I did. I did make it up. Quit acting like you don't know how this town works. Every day for the last 10 years, you've been waking up acting like you don't know that you work for me and I work for Pickett and Pickett runs this town. It must be great to live in a fairy tale land of delusion. What do you have to do to tell yourself every day that you're actually on the right side of things? That you're not working for who you think you're working for. So Tommy says no. I said, oh, look at him. He got a little bass in his voice. He got that spine in his back. Okay, I said, oh, look at him. The sheriff turns to him. He's like, no. He's like, let me tell you how it's going to go down. You're going to say this, and I'm going to spin this story. And they're going to believe me because you've been going around saying that you got hit by an invisible car. And it's like, God, dog, Tommy, you really screwed yourself with this whole invisible car thing. Okay? Keep it to yourself. Okay? The only person you should have told was Burton. Okay? Even though he was talking to you mad dumb. Okay, last episode, you should lock, clock, clink it. Okay? Keep your mouth closed. It's the only thing that should have happened because now no one believes you. And Sheriff ends it with go fetch Burton and Flynn. And I said, well, I don't like how the word fetch sounds at all. Okay? So we go back to the future. We see Beatrice and Ainsley in their office, and we see that they're watching the fight that was recorded through Beatrice's eyes. Ainsley asks her, what does she think of them? She said, I think they're brave, they're assertive, they're resolute. You know, Burton is very predictable and also very dependable. But if there was actually a crisis, I would actually be more apt to depend on Connor. And Ainsley's like, why? And she's like, I don't know. Something about him, I guess. I felt that deep down in my neural networks. Okay, I don't know why I feel that way about that man. Then they get a ring on the telephone. Charisse is here. We go back to the prison. Tommy goes to his car, and what does he do? He's punching the air. Okay, he's like, stupid. I'm so stupid. You're a punk. I mean, just degrading himself. Just talking down. I said, I mean, you kind of are stupid. Okay, been living in this town your whole life. You act like you know how things work. Okay, you didn't think the sheriff was in on it. Okay, you have been a punk. But he's sitting in that car. He said, you know what? I got a bright idea. I said, oh, he got a bright idea. So we switched to Bob. Bob's talking to Ella. He's like, look, I gave him to take out your kids. Yes, I did. He sends them a text message to Burton and them. They realize, hey, it's weird. This ain't right. They said, try to get a read on Reese. They said, I can't get his vitals. I said, now everybody's up to speed. So back to the future, and we see Charisse come on up there being the big boss and just as messy as she want to be. She's like, this little coin right here, you know, normally when people have some, there's like a missing sentimental value, a missing personal connection. Is this your daughter? And I was like, why would you? Ainsley was like, God, dog, scrap the last 5 minutes and power down. So from what I can understand, I think Beatrice is just the Coit that just happens to look like her daughter. I don't think it's a peripheral at all. So Ainsley is like, are you happy with yourself now? God, coming up here ruining everything. Charisse says to her, something was stolen. All right, that's why I'm here. So then we switch on over to Ash and Ossian, right? We see that they're trying to sequence the bacteria that's inside of Flynn's brain. And Ash is like, how are we going to do that? Ash is like, we're going to hire somebody in a stub to do it. And Lev comes up while they're talking in their encrypted language. I said, you knew the whole time? You understood them the whole time? Okay. They called him arrogant. He said arrogant. They said what? He said, how very arrogant of you to think that your stuff wouldn't be encrypted a long doggone time ago. Okay. You thought you're going to speak in riddles and codes around me? No, I think not. What the heck is going on up here? He's like, look, I'll take out Ossian right now. You are like him, I don't care about. Okay, take him out right now. Tell me what's going on. Well, she starts spilling everything. She's like, look, Alita thought Burton was in his peripheral, right? So when she took him down to the triangle thing, she was trying to actually put put the information in his eye and then it would download into his haptics, so then it would be stored in a stub hidden away from everybody. But that's not what happened, because Flynn was inside his peripheral and it just went into her own eye, and her brain didn't know what to do with that information, so it turned it into bacterial DNA. So then he says, and what was your plan? Huh? What was your plan? She said, to sell it to the highest bidder. He looks at her, he's like, oh, okay, right? Slashes Icy right across her face. I said, oh, he doesn't believe that. He's like, quit playing with me and tell me what the heck you're gonna do to it. She's like, we were gonna freaking give it to the Neocrims. He's like, why would you do that? She said, so we can watch the world burn and build a new one. He said, oh, you think you're gonna watch the world burn, do you? You think you're gonna build a new one that's better than this one, do you? All right, quit playing around with me, okay? Nothing you think you're gonna do is actually gonna get done. Let's sequence this DNA right now. And we switch back to Sharice and Ainsley talking. You know Sharice, she likes to talk in riddles and act like she's better than everyone and just this amazing, I'm doing this for the world and not myself person. So she's telling the problem with the jackpot was that it was weaponized by human nature. Whether they were just being stupid, whether they were looking out for themselves, whether they were being greedy, whatever. Human nature was the cause of it at every twist and turn. They weren't acting for the collective good of everybody. And I was like, you're not acting for the collective good of everybody, Sharice. Who do you think you're fooling? You're not me. So then she goes ahead and tells Ainsley about the data breach, okay? The fact that Alita took Burton/Flynn down into there and they got some information. And the data that they took has information on a neural adjustment mechanism. So she's trying to hide the fact that they have that and also keep it from getting in the wrong hands. The wrong hands. Look, you're probably like me. How'd this thing get made? They created the subs to make it an experiment on people, obviously, okay? I think that's what the haptics are, okay? Neural adjustment mechanism. I think that's what the haptics are, because they were kind of playing around with them in episode 5. She said it's dangerous the kleps get a hold of it. And in my mind, I'm like, it's dangerous that you guys have it. She basically comes right on out to Lowbeer and is like, look, I want you to cut down everyone involved. I'm talking about the Fishers. I'm talking about their family. I'm talking about Bob. I'm talking about Pickett, that whole doggone town. And I'm talking about Liv and all his little cohorts up here. Cut them down, cut it out. You've done it before with the Samsonovs. The Samsonovs were friends with Liv, okay? Took that whole team out, okay? Lowbeer said, that was sedition. She said, right. What do you think this is going to be? So she walks out. She's like, I know you'll do the right thing. We switch to the present. We see Bob talking to Ella and Didi. Ella's like, why are you doing this? For money? He said, I could care less about the money. I'm doing this for my daughter. She said, so you gonna take out my kids to save your kid? Only a fool sees the world as either or. He said, okay, right. She said, but I'm not even gonna tell you because I can tell in your voice that you're not the type of man to understand and to change his mind. He said, you'll be surprised, right? And so she's like, well, you could get rid of yourself. You could off yourself right now. Change everything, all right? Everything. They don't have your daughter underneath your finger. My kids are great. You can just go ahead and do everybody a favor. He's like, right? But we don't even have to see him do that because Burton, Connor, Flynn, Leon get out the car. I get so sick and tired of Flynn second guessing Burton so much. This man knows what he's doing. He's got it. Don't worry about it. He might not be good at all the other stuff that he said, but he's good at the tactics. Let him tacticate. They have Leon tap into Reese's haptics, which Connor didn't actually want him to do because he's like, he's going to feel that. He's going to know that he's inside, that he's connected to somebody that's no longer with us. But Leon's like, shut up, let me do it. So he just had Reese swallow. And we see on Ella's face a smile. Like I'm telling you, she knew Reese was right there in that room because when she smiled, when he swallowed, I said, oh, she knows something's up. She already knows what's about to happen. She knows it. Then they make him move. Bob gets up. They're looking at him through the heat vision goggles. Flynn said, that's him. They take him out. So then we switch to Tommy. Tommy walks in the Pickett house, sees the sheriff and Pickett at the table. Tommy said, I got a better story. When all this stuff went down, you were called. And then what happened? Bob got you. Bop, 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 bop. I said, oh my God. This man is cracked. He's not going to take any more of y'all stuff. Corbell says, I need you to calm down, okay? Calm down again like you were just a minute ago because you don't even have anything left in your chamber to get me with. He said, oh, shoot, I don't. What do you do? Hit him with a pulse. Okay. Then what happens? That's the end. I said, Tommy's sick and tired of y'all stuff. He's not going to keep playing your game. He's not going to keep pushing him around. He's tired of his town just being run by drugs and stuff. Take charge of his life. What did y'all think of this episode? This show has been amazing to me. What do y'all think is going to happen in the next episode? If I'm correct, the next episode is the last episode. how y'all feeling so far. Because me, I'm fired up every time I watch it. Every time. I'll see y'all on the next one, okay? Bye.